hair and furrowed brow aged him, but his chubby chipmunk cheeks made him look young. He had the beginnings of a double chin and a flabby chest that made his man-boobs visible through his ill-fitting dress shirt. His eyes were slightly squinty behind Coke bottle glasses, but you could still see they were bloodshot and tired, not exactly a specimen of health or vitality. "Won't happen again. Promise." I gave him a Girl Scout salute. Sadir may not have been the office mate I'd pictured, but he'd grown on me. He wasn't exactly warm and fuzzy, but he gave me advice, cynical but usually spot on when I needed it. The first time a senior associate dumped a pile of documents on me and asked me to tell him if there was anything relevant in them, it was Sadir who had walked me through the ins and outs of due diligence. I'd spent 3 years at law school memorizing the rules of evidence, countless Supreme Court decisions, and the details of negligence law, but had been left woefully unprepared for the work of a corporate first-year associate. When I was still in college, Georgetown law students, recognizing their lack of real-world skills in a lackluster economy, had pushed for classes that were more practical. The faculty response had been, "We're teaching the law, not training lawyers." The ivory tower prevailed, and at the time I understood their position. Law school isn't a trade school. But at F&D I often found myself wishing the classes I'd taken in school had been just a little more useful. I pulled my chair close to the computer, rested my fingers on the keyboard, and felt my eyelids grow heavier. If I was going to draft a press release that, when it hit the wires, would result in the company's stock doubling in price, I was going to need some bottled energy. I pecked out a quick IM to Alex, Jason's best friend, who I knew would be working on the other side of the floor. "Need more caffeine. You around?" We were now into our second year as associates, and day-to-day life at one of New York's top law firms was a far cry from the whining and dining we'd experienced as wide-eyed, euphoric summer associates. Back then, the schedule for our 11-week summer job was more like a social calendar. Yankees games, cooking classes, Broadway shows, guided tours of the Bronx Zoo. There were free lunches at the finest restaurants in the city, and evenings filled with firm-sponsored cocktails. For this, we received checks for $4,500 every 2 weeks. It would have been an amazing summer under any circumstances, but it was also the summer I fell in love. I wasn't looking for a boyfriend. I'd worked my ass off to get this job and didn't need the distraction. But one glance at Jason's easy smile, and I was smitten. "There's a reason this place is called the Death Star," was his opening line to me. It was our first day, and we were standing in the polished marble lobby of F&D waiting for the elevator. My nose had been buried in my leather portfolio folder, reviewing the schedule for the 100th time since I'd received it in the mail. It took me a moment to realize he was talking to me. When I looked up, the most gorgeous, deep brown eyes were staring back at me. "Oh," I replied, feeling my face flush. He was tall, with close-cropped dark curls, and dressed in a navy blue Brooks Brothers suit. But with his tanned skin and square jaw, he looked like he would be more at home in a button-down shirt and shorts on Martha's Vineyard, radiating the classic New England prep school look. He smiled sheepishly, like he knew he was handsome and was somewhat embarrassed about it. I silently thanked the expensive makeup I'd purchased from Saks that the saleswoman swore would accentuate my best features. Hey, nobody said I had to use the entire $3,000 travel stipend on relocation expenses. My brand-new heather gray theory suit and Prada slingbacks with a practical 1-inch heel completed the transformation from frumpy law student to polished, sleek lawyer. "Is that what they call it?" I grinned. "Yeah, this building, I mean."